No company ever shut down because the founder had too less equity. Company shuts down when the last 1,000 rupees is not there to pay salaries or expenses. When to dilute, how much to dilute? Those are the questions that people often struggle with. 100% of zero is zero. I would rather have 10% of a $1 billion valued company than 100% of a small company.
This person has built and sold multi-million dollar companies 4 times in his life. Ganesh is the brains behind companies like BigBasket, Bluestone, Homelane, Portia, Fresh Menu, and you name it. He's not a mentor, he's not a VC, he's still an active operator who's still building relevant companies. He still understands what does it take to build for India, scale in India, and get a good exit, whether it be like BigBasket to the Tatas or doing an IPO, which Bluestone might soon do. This episode talks about what are the various sectors that are active in India. What does it take to differentiate your business for rapid scale? And thirdly, what kind of financing do you need? Do you need VC money or can you bootstrap? This is not a Gyan session. This is actual practical knowledge for somebody who's done it all on repeat for the last 35 years. It's kind of like a formula. Watch this. Ganesh, I see you. And then I see multiple logos against you. Multiple logos of very popular brands today. BigBasket being one, Homelane being another, Bluestone being another. And you're listed as co-founder in all of these companies. How does someone do that? And what are these companies? I may have not mentioned all of them.
Yeah, so it's an interesting journey I've had after doing 4 greenfield ventures as founder or co-founder and CEO and running them. When we had our last exit, Tutor Vista to Pearson, then we thought I should change my own business model or disrupt myself. That is when we came up with the idea of a venture builder called Growth Story. So that's what we've been doing in the last 12, 13 years. And there the model is almost think of it like a parallel entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So these companies that you mentioned, BigBasket, Bluestone, Homelane, Portia Medical, Hunger Box, Fresh Menu. All of these come under the parallel entrepreneurship or venture builder model of Growth Story. So basically what we do is we look at where the next 10-year opportunities are, in our opinion, where we think we can start something, write a small business plan, do some research, then get a core founding team together. So I'm just the promoter. I'm not the founder. I'm not running it. Each of them have got stellar founders who are full-time dedicated running these businesses as co-founders to come and we work on it together. First money is in. Typically my home is the first registered office for these companies.
Right.
And we try to scale it. Very early in the game, raise institutional venture capital money so that each company stands on its own, has got a separate life, good governance with venture capitalists, the board reconstituted, all of those, and we scale it, right? If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, we just write off the money that we have spent. And there are quite a bit of failures. While we talk only about success and logos, there are others business model that didn't work out, but that's par for the course and then do that. So that is what we have been doing.
What's the strike rate or what are the wins to fail ratio?
Don't know. The jury is out still on some of them. Okay. But I can tell you, I think we have about 8 companies that should do well out of a total of about 15 companies that we started.
Hey, very nice. That's a great hit rate.
Yeah, but I don't see it as a hit rate because each one is like a baby for me.
And you're not a VC.
I'm not a VC. Right. So we are the promoter. So it's very, very personal and it's traumatic when we have to shut it down. But we do realize that it is par for the course, right? I mean, in terms of percentages, you do know that 90% of the startups don't really see the success as it's supposed to.
Got it. Right. Could you just briefly, I mean, while the numbers are out there in the public, you mentioned 8 companies you have, some of them very popular. Could you just tell me how big they are? You're talking to a 25-year-old. So just in very simple words, what are these companies and how big they are? In preferably crores and not millions.
Yeah. So numbers I will not be able to tell you because...
Just give me how big they are or maybe how much of a scale they're servicing.
Yeah. So the Obviously, there are some which are consumer brands which people will know very well. For example, Big Basket is also one of the first large-scale e-grocery company. Even today, it's the largest in terms of e-grocery company.
Right.
Quick commerce is giving challenges to Big Basket. So in quick commerce, they are one of the top 4 players, not the largest, but e-grocery, they are the largest player. Similarly, Bluestone, for example, in online fine jewelry, there are really 2 players who define this particular market. One is Carrot Lane, which is part of Tanishq. The other one is Bluestone. Third is Portia Medical, which is India's largest home healthcare company or outside of hospital care company.
Right.
Okay, right. Touches about 100 cities where they provide some service or the other. 26 top cities where they provide full services for out of hospital care. Home Lane, which again is into home interiors for the Indian market. Again, one of the 2 large companies in this space, LiveSpace being one and Homeland being the other. So a Fresh Menu, which is a cloud kitchen which provides fine cuisine delivered at home, a cloud kitchen model. A company called Hungerbox, which does digital cafeteria. Again, number 1 market share in digital cafeteria, B2B company. So like this, we have multiple companies. Typically, they are top 1 or 2 in that particular sector or category. Some of them are scaled substantially, but all of them provide a very core basic need for the consumer.
Lovely. But talking about you personally, these are ventures you, how to say, floated, but has its own sort of founding team, founders and CEOs. You're not the CEOs either. You're not the CEO either. Talking about your journey, I think your journey, as per public records, started with in 1990. What happened? I think you said no to certain offers. What happened?
So
how did you get started?
Yeah, I was in 1985. I passed out of IIM Calcutta.
Okay.
And then joined HCL, Hindustan Computers Limited at that time. My idea was, because I had worked for a year.
Where were you? In Bangalore?
No, this was in Delhi. So
my dad also started his career with HCL around the same time. He passed out from IIT Roorkee.
What is his name?
I don't think he survived more than a year or 2.
What is his name?
Rakesh Arora. He was in sales or marketing though.
Yeah, I was in sales and marketing too.
Lovely. Okay.
So 1985, 86 I was there. Was he in Delhi?
He was in Delhi. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Which year was it? Because I was there 85 to 88.
Let me hit him up right after the chat.
It will be good. Good to know. I mean, because it's a long time back.
Yeah.
So I had joined HCL from IIM Calcutta because I wanted to join a small company. Because I was traumatized by my post-engineering first job, which happened to be at Tata Motors.
Oh, okay.
Right. What was at the time called Telco, Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company in Jamshedpur. So I had worked at Tata Motors, which is a large company, perhaps the best company for a mechanical engineer to work. So no complaints about Tata Motors. But I did not want to be part of a large company. Okay, right? And it's almost like a government or a public sector company. You get lost there, which is my personal thing, not because of nothing to do with Tata Motors or Telco. So then I left to do my MBA. Then I said, after my MBA, I wanted to join a small company. And I had offers from Unilever, which was called Hindustan Lever at that time, and Citibank. And the third job was from HCL, which at the time was about a 10 crore company, the total turnover of that.
Okay.
And I was interviewed directly by Shiv Nadar.
Oh, very nice.
Which was nice. So because I wanted to be a small company, I joined that. It's a different matter. In 5 years, the HCL and the IT industry and the technology grew. But because it was HCL, I got exposed to Shiv Nadar, Arjun Malhotra, Ajay Chaudhary, who are all founders. And HCL was a very entrepreneurial company. So 5 years in HCL gave me a nasha or a taste of what entrepreneurship looked like, what decision-making unstructured looked like. And that gave me the confidence to start my first company in 1990. Right. That's how we started IT&T, which was into computer maintenance. So I call myself an accidental entrepreneur. If I joined Unilever or Citibank, I perhaps would have been in a corporate career because I was not into entrepreneurship. I don't come a family of entrepreneurship.
Right.
Generations across my ancestors, nobody has done any entrepreneurship. They were all teachers or pandits or prohits.
Nice. Lovely. No, but then how did you get started in entrepreneurship? What businesses did you float? 23 and beyond, I think all those ventures are doing really well. We know Big Basket, we know Home Lane, we know Bluestone. What happened after you quit HCL? 1990 is when you quit?
So 1990 is when, because I was working in HCL,
Yeah.
I could understand the pain point of my target customers, which were computer EDP managers or IT managers. We used to call them EDP managers, who are managing different computers in their organization.
Okay.
That's what I was selling in HCL
Right.
to them. So I was in contact with them. I could spot an opportunity there. If you roll back and think about 1990, HCL, Wipro, Pertec computers used to have their own computers. The computers were not fully standardized. Even though if you had personal computers, they were not standard computers. They had small differences, and computers used to be maintained, serviced, or repaired only by the OEM or the vendor.
Okay.
Because a Wipro engineer cannot repair a HCL computer.
Got it.
Right. Similarly, a Epson printer had to be repaired by somebody from Epson.
Okay.
So always there was a dependence on the supplier to do maintenance. Now imagine
it became a subscription service.
No. So what happened was
It
became a challenge and a nightmare for the IT manager or for the person who is the purchase manager.
Right.
Say you are a Ranbaxy, it's a company, which is one of my clients. You have computers from 4 different computer vendors. You have printers from 3 different printer vendors. And whenever there was a problem, whom do you call? Is it a computer problem? Is it a printer problem? Sometimes it will be cable problem. So it became very unmanageable even back in 1990 for IT managers to manage and service and handle their computer complaints. That is when I came up with the idea, because I could see this pain point. We were the first vendor independent third party maintenance company. So we came up with the idea that if you're a corporate IT manager, talk to us. We will maintain all your computers and peripherals.
All brands,
all computer related peripheral, single phone number to call, single point responsibility, so that we don't shift you from one to the other. And that took off like a rocket, because it really addressed a key pain point. So one of the learnings for me was that whatever you do, if you are able to understand a pressing need or a pain point in the Indian consumer, whether it's consumer or a corporate, you can build a business, because that's a problem waiting to be solved.
You did this without any external funding?
Yeah, this was 1990. The concept of venture capitalist, concept of entrepreneur, first generation entrepreneur did not exist. In 1990, people who started the businesses were all people who had big business houses. They had land, or they could buy land. They had to get license.
So which one were you?
License Raj. So the concept of service businesses, software businesses, entrepreneurs, venture capital, angel investor, none of it existed.
Right.
So we bootstrapped the company. The total money that we put in the company between 5 of us was 94,000 rupees. Then eventually we exited, sold it to iGate much later.
Got it. What happened after that? Was that a good exit?
Was a reasonable exit.
Right.
It was a reasonable exit. It was a successful exit because 94,000 put in. I had moved to Bangalore because my wife, who was number 2 in Microsoft, had moved to Bangalore.
Okay.
And my 2 of my partners.
This was in Delhi.
Were running it. Yeah, this was headquartered in Delhi, but we had operations all across India. Headquartered in Delhi. So 2 of my partners started running it. I moved to Bangalore because my family had moved to Bangalore. And I took up a job as CEO of Wipro British Telecom, which was Bharti British Telecom at that time. I took up a job as a CEO for 2 years here, and then the business got sold. We got some exit, and then after 2 years at Wipro British Telecom CEO, again the entrepreneurial bug bit me. Started my second business, which is called Customer Asset, what is now called as First Source. It's one of the largest BPO companies in India, listed, part of the Sanjeev Goenka group.
Right.
That was a company I and my wife started, along with 2 other co-founders. One of the first call centers in India.
Right.
Right.
Is it BPO as a service?
Yeah, BPO. It's a proper BPO services.
Right.
This was in 2000.
For global clients like Amex and types.
For global clients.
Right.
Marks and Spencers was one of our largest clients.
And calling to US customers.
Calling to US and UK customers.
Beautiful.
It was one of the first call centers back in 2000. Okay, right. So this was called customer asset. Then ICICI wanted to get into the space, acquired it. We sold it to ICICI. It was known as ICICI OneSource. Then became First Source. Went public. Today it's again public. One of the largest BPOs in India, part of the Sanjeev Goenka group now. So that is the second business I started, sold, and after that exited.
You sold directly to Goenka.
No.
You sold to
Sold
ICICI.
it to ICICI at
They
that time.
sold further.
ICICI, it is called ICICI OneSource. ICICI took it public.
Got it.
And after it became public, much later when it became public, Sanjeev Goenka became the largest shareholder by buying it from public
Oh, okay.
market. So it's part of Sanjeev Goenka group now. Before that, it was fully professionally managed, listed company called First Source. Before that, it was ICICI OneSource. Before that, it was Customer Asset, which we started.
Right. What happened after that? You didn't stop there.
No, so after that, we're looking at next ideas and started a company called Marketix, which was into high-end data analytics.
Okay.
Okay, right? So what we used to do was do marketing analytics for Fortune 50 companies in the US. So we had clients like Coke and clients like Procter and Gamble, for which we used to do high-end statistical modeling in India.
Service or software?
Service, pure service. We used to hire in a residential place not far from here in Indiranagar in Bangalore. In a residential wing, we hired PhDs and masters in statistics. We hired top MBAs, marketing MBAs from this, put them together and developed statistical models. I'm talking about 2003 time frame, okay, right? When before using SPSS and other statistical software for Fortune 50 clients. So that scaled well. This was days before KPO or knowledge process outsourcing and all were not known. This was basically high-end BPO, if you can think of it. So we did this and sold it to WNS, which is NASDAQ listed BPO company. So this was the third exit. After that, fourth one I started was a company in the EdTech space, which you know very, very well, called Tutor Vista. Then we scaled that and sold it in 2011 to Pearson. Okay, right? Which is a global...
Tutor Vista, you ran it for the longest time, I would assume, no?
Yeah, Tutor Vista, we started in 2005 and sold in 2011, 6 years. Whether you call it long or short depends on what the time frames are. I was the co-founder and CEO of Tutor Vista. We used to provide one-on-one personalized tuition to companies, to students in the US, world over, but primarily in the US and a bit in UK. And we had a large India business where we used to sell technology solutions to schools. We had tutorial centers, close to 100 of them, for test prep, which was leveraging technology, but still physical brick and mortar tutorial centers. And we also had a large vertical doing school management, similar to Hotel Port Meridian and Marriott does in terms of managing schools. We had 35,000 students across 25 schools in India. So we are a large India business. All of this in the Tutor Vista group that we sold to PSL.
And you had something to do with Manipal there as well.
Yeah, we had, in fact, Manipal, Dr. Ranjan Pai was one of the investors, and they had also the schools management business we used to call them Manipal K-12 schools. We used to use their brand name till the time. Then after that, it became PSN K-12 schools.
Ranjan Pai is the one who's also associated with Manipal, the group that also runs the universities, or is he?
Oh yeah. It's
MEMG,
Manipal,
right?
MEMG, Manipal Education and Medical Group.
Right.
The Manipal hospitals.
Yeah.
That you see is and the Manipal University, Tapmi University, Sikkim Manipal University, Jaipur, and Manipal University Jaipur. All of them. Okay? The education and the healthcare business is under Dr. Ranjan Pai, who is the promoter.
Lovely. Interesting. Now tell me, how has the playbook changed ever since? You started obviously, in a bootstrap manner, had the fortitude to sort of even then, scale it big. Today, big businesses are built with venture capital. How has the playbook changed, and whether for good or bad?
Yeah, so the playbook has substantially changed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not
right?
of building the business, but also just thinking about business.
Yeah, so 35 years, the playbook has substantially changed
Right.
because at that time when we started, entrepreneurship was not common. Okay,
Yeah.
right? When I came out of college, even after engineering or after MBA,
Right.
the ideal job was a government job.
Hmm.
Next to ideal government job was a public sector job.
Right.
Next to that was a large corporate job like Tata's or Birla's or TVS Group. Okay, right? A large
Was Infosys around?
Infosys is just starting at
Okay.
the time. Okay,
Right.
right? So just very very early days. I think it started in the late 80s. Okay, right? So they're still small. They're not gone public. I distinctly
Right.
remember. Okay, right? So the those were the jobs. Entrepreneurship was not common. In fact, when I first left my job and started entrepreneurship, my mother and my mother-in-law both were pretty upset. They're saying, "Why is he starting? Has he been laid off, or is there a problem with the job?" Because it's not common for people to start. There is no ecosystem at that time. There was no advisors, mentors, angel investors, venture capitalists. The concept itself was not there, and because it was a license Raj, the number of clearances required, the number of compliances required were very huge. Okay, right? And typically, people who used to start businesses are people who could not get a good job. Okay, right? That was the thing. I think from there we have now come to a very, very different place where it's almost like entire ecosystem has got developed. Okay, right? To be able to see it. So that I think is very one aspect. The other aspect is people are a lot more risk taking. At
Right.
that time when we started, also even much later, it was more whether Infosys or Customer Asset or First Source. All of these were services businesses.
Right.
Okay, right? It
So
was
the
not
risk is
product
low.
businesses.
Yeah.
The risk is lower.
Right.
Cash flows can take care of itself. Like I
Right.
said, my first business, 94,000 was the total capital. From first month, we are profitable. Infosys also has been profitable. So risks are lower. Okay, right? Today, how it has changed is people are a lot more risk taking. They are looking at products.
Right.
People are looking at global markets that did
Right.
not really exist. First wave came when we were trying to sell services using the labor arbitrage, cost arbitrage for the international market.
Right.
That still is services business. Okay,
Yeah.
right? But now you look at SaaS, look at AI, look at product businesses. People are willing to start here and take products globally. So, and three, thanks to the media attention, thanks to venture capitalists, people are okay to fail. Okay, right? At my time when I started, the biggest challenge was fear of failure. What will people say?
Right.
Risk taking was low. Okay, right? People used to pity if you started a business and failed. Today, it's almost a badge of honor.
Badge of honor. Yeah.
Yeah, that you have actually tried.
Right.
And everybody respects it.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in a small way. After my first business, I was able to get a job as
Yeah.
CEO of Wipro British Telecom because people loved that. Today,
Yeah.
if you say you've been an entrepreneur, you have tried, whether you have raised VC money or you have shut down the business, absolutely no value. You're actually valued as somebody who
Right.
can think on the feet, who can do that. Okay,
Right.
right? So that has changed. That has made people take more risk. And also you see serial entrepreneurship. When I did my first 4 ventures, I was the rarest of the rare breed of a 4x serial entrepreneur. Now you see so many people starting businesses again and again, either after shutting down or successfully exiting, whichever way, it's quite common. So I think there's a lot of changes that has happened. Almost most of them is for good.
Got it. What's your take on bootstrap versus venture?
No, I think both models exist.
Okay.
Obviously, what gets media attention, front page attention
Yes, funding announcement.
is funding announcement. Okay,
Yeah.
right? But if you look at it, actually, those are minuscule portion of the total business getting started. I don't know the numbers offhand, but 90-95% of the opportunity, businesses, entrepreneurship, founders are in the non-sexy, non-glamorous, non-front page, attention attracting businesses. Built quietly, smart businesses, important businesses, systemically important, and highly profitable and highly satisfying businesses. Okay, right? It won't get into front page. Okay, right? So coming back to bootstrap versus venture capital, there are business models that need venture capital. Venture capital is typically risk capital. Okay, right? where the risk is high, the percentage chances of success are low. So therefore, you need a risk capital. You and I should not be starting with our inherited money or
Right.
with our life saving to put in risk capital. That's
Right.
too risky. Okay, right?
Right.
Whereas on the other hand, there are businesses that don't need risk capital. Okay, that are not risky, wherein it makes sense to bootstrap. That is one angle. Other angle is how much of scale do you require? Some of them do require capital at a large level to come to a certain stage. So there you cannot bring in your own capital.
Right.
You need to syndicate capital, you need to raise capital. You want to say, start a large hotel, large hospital. You do require capital, right?
Right.
Unless you happen to be from a large wealthy family. So capital requirement is one. The nature of capital requirement, the risk capital is two.
Right.
And three, whether you can actually take venture capital and give them return. Somebody said venture capital is like a rocket fuel. Okay, you can take rocket fuel provided you want to hit the escape velocity and fly a rocket.
And you're riding a rocket. Yeah, you're
You're
not riding a
rocket.
scooter.
Yeah, if you are going to be car, don't put rocket fuel in a car.
Right.
Because it's
It'll
going to be
combust.
disaster.
Yeah.
Because car does not need rocket fuel, first of all.
Right.
So why would you put it in? Two, if you put rocket fuel, you need to get escape velocity. Car
Right.
is not meant to fly and create escape velocity. So you need to match the business model, the risk, the need before deciding to bootstrap or raise money.
How do I decide if I want to drive a car or get on the rocket?
No, some of it is based on your own DNA.
Right.
It's based on what is your business model going to be.
No, fair enough.
Okay, right?
But how do you, for somebody who's an aspiring entrepreneur, who's looking at multiple opportunities, multiple pain points, and evaluating whether this is worth pursuing commercially or that is worth pursuing commercially, what do you tell this person how to go about picking a car versus a rocket?
No, I think I will reverse the question.
Okay.
I will start by saying what business you want to start. What is the pain point
You want to solve.
that you are solving?
Okay.
Right? The pain point, is it a pressing problem? Is the pain point large enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the problem real enough? Or is it already solved problem? And do you have the chops, ability, the secret sauce to be able to actually
Solve it.
solve it? Do you have it in you, or is somebody else better? Like, for example, you want to be in the content creation business or related business. You like creating content. Okay, right? You have a knack for it. You are able to bring in certain elements.
Right.
Okay. May not be 100% unique, but certain element which is more than 80% of other people who are able to bring it in. Okay. Is it large enough business that is there? Now, if the answer to all of that is yes. Okay, right? If you ride a car, you can go from point A to point B. You can travel entire India in a car. It'll be slower,
Right.
it'll be steadier,
Right.
and it'll be safer.
Right.
Okay. Or you can take a jet
Huh.
and go there in 10 minutes from
Yeah.
one end of India to another end of India.
Right.
Which one suits your style?
Okay.
Okay. And what is the need? If the need is going to be that you have to reach there within 30 minutes because there's a fire burning, there is no choice. Okay. It's been that. I'm translating it into actual reality.
So that
Is it going to be a winner-take-all market that you need to capture urgently?
like a Zepto playing
Like a
against
Zepto,
Swiggy and Blinkit.
Yeah. Okay. Right. If you need that, you need rocket fuel.
Yeah.
You cannot do slow, because before you do slow, 4 other people would have captured.
Fair
One.
enough. Yep.
Zepto also is going to lose money because the model is going to lose money. So it comes back to our earlier
Are
point
you
that it is
certain?
risk capital. You require risk capital, so better to lean on VCs.
Right.
Okay, right. You require large capital, which no individual can bring in, so you need to do that stuff. 3, you want to capture the market because you are going to be duopoly or 3 people play. 4th, 5th, 6th player cannot exist there.
Right.
Okay. Many of the platforms, Swiggy, Zomato,
Right.
Ola, Uber, Rapido, maybe that. So you can't do that. On the other hand, for example, if you're going to start a school, a chain of schools, let's take an example.
Right.
Okay, right? Eventually, you'll have a chain of schools. You'll need capital eventually.
Yeah.
Does it need a rocket fuel? The answer is no.
Right.
You will have to start school by school.
Hmm.
Okay, right? It is not a winner take all market. I start a school in Indranagar, you can start a school in HSR.
Right.
Okay, right? So that's an example of that. So that is what would determine. So I would say start with the problem that you're solving, then come back to question that is rocket fuel needed?
Hmm.
Is it going to be a rocket business model or is it going to be a car business model?
Lovely. I want to zoom in on what you do at Growth Story, because said 8 out of 15 companies are doing well, which is a great hit rate. I understand that you don't treat it like a VC, you don't call it a
Yeah,
hit
we don't
rate.
go by hit rate. For me, that's
The hit
bothered
rate
about a 7. Yeah,
hit rate is not even the vocabulary that you use. Perfect. But something's here when you say that you've built multiple ventures, exited them nicely to big names. Some of them are with Goenka Group and Pearson and Tata. What is in your model? How do you, like, I don't know if you've templatized this stuff, but I want to know if today you decide to back a new company and you've already produced Big Baskets and Blue Stones and Home Lanes and Portias and Fresh Menus of the world. Today, if you decide to back a new company, what are you looking in it? What are you looking in the idea? And you famously said that we're not after out executing the competitor. We are disrupting how things are done. We're disrupting the status quo. What does this mean? How do you look at things? Give me
So
a peek.
the way we look at things is I don't have a magic wand. Okay, I'm not an expert or a genius at anything.
Right.
Okay, right? Which basically means that if you're running a media agency, if you're running a digital marketing company, there is nothing that I have that will make me do better than you. Okay, right? I can't start a better software company than Infosys or this. I can't run a better hospital than Manipal. I can't run a better hotel than Taj. So while I may criticize, I may have a lot of views, I can give lectures on what can be done better, why they are doing certain things wrong. If I were to start doing it, I will make perhaps 10 times more mistakes, 10 times more stupid things.
Right.
Okay, right? So, because I don't have any special domain knowledge, generic knowledge, or a magic wand or expertise to be able to do it. So, given that is understood, then what can I do? Okay, right? So, we look at two things. One, is it a large core sector? Okay, right? Largeness, what we jargon called total addressable market or TAM.
Right.
Sector has to be large.
Right.
Okay, right? So, and how do we identify that? All the core sectors: roti, kapda, makan, education, healthcare, entertainment. Okay, right? These are large. These are large core sectors that we look at. Okay, right? One. Two, is the pain point deep and large enough? Will people pay for it? What it means is it good to have or a must have?
Painkiller versus vitamin.
Painkiller versus vitamin. In India, people will pay more for painkiller than for vitamin.
Okay,
right? Even though it's changing, preventive health and all that comes under, wellness comes under a new this one, but still it's small. That they will pay for painkiller. So, large core sectors, big pain point is two. Third is, I cannot out-execute. I don't have a magic wand. So I need to find a new, different way of disrupting the status quo, which primarily comes from use of technologies, internet, data, new way of doing things.
Is it a more efficient solution?
I won't, a more efficient solution for the current context to be able to come and change the rules of the game. Take, for example, BigBasket. When 2013, when we started it, we were not the first e-grocery company. Right. At that time, when I remember, I was doing the research before putting the first rupee in, there were 40 companies in the e-grocery model.
Seriously? Back in 2013?
Yeah. Okay. I have the list, 2012, 2013. Okay, right? But we said, what is the disruption here? This is not about e-grocery or e-commerce. It is 50% is e-grocery because you order online. But look at it closely, slightly deeply. What is E in it? Okay, right? the fruits and vegetables are being made at the agriculture farm. There is no E in it. From there, it has to come to Bangalore. There is no E in it. Physical truck is bringing it. You have to store in a warehouse. There is no E in it. You have to physical store. It's exactly what has been done 100 years.
Right.
Farmer producing it, transporting it to my main city, storing it in a warehouse, and then my delivering it to your house. That is also, there is no E in it, physical delivery.
Right.
So we said, this is as much about grocery. So I need to have grocery experience, understanding of grocery, fruits and vegetables and staples to be able to do this business. So that was the pain point, that there is no glory in buying this. As you purchased online, convenient purchase, but it is a grocery business. So that's how the founders of BigBasket, Hari Menon, Sudhakar, Vipul Parekh and others, ran 300 grocery stores under the Trinetra name. They were the original founders of FabMart.
Right.
They were techies, they understand technology, but they also are very good grocers, having run 300 stores grocery chain. Later it became Aditya Birla More. They sold
is it? Now it's Amazon More.
Yeah, okay, right. So that is the More is what it became. Okay, right? They sold it. So that is one. Similarly, if you take Bluestone, jewelry business have been around for centuries. Okay, I can't become a better jeweler. I have no capacity. But if I do online, okay, only CaratLane and CaratLane was there, it was a little older. Okay, I'll be able to disrupt. How can you, sitting at your home, get to see tens of thousands of design, which is not possible in a physical store. So that is the disruption.
Okay.
Similarly, if you look at a hospital.
But you were convinced that people will buy 50,000 rupees jewelry online.
Yeah, that was the punt, and that is the hope, that is the prayer.
Right.
Fortunately, it has worked out. Like I said, there are other punts that have not worked out. But is that it has been a long journey. It has been a long journey, and lots of ups and downs. It's not been easy. Okay, right. And Gaurav Singh Kushwaha, who is the founder and CEO, has done a stellar job of making it happen. Along with backers, we raised capital from multiple venture capitalists. It has been a good journey, but not easy.
Right. So bet on a new behavior in a big enough sector with a deep enough pain.
Yeah. New behavior or same behavior, but executed in a different manner. Switch
Right.
to online. Or take Portia Medical, for example, out of hospital.
Yeah.
Now, hospital is great for curing,
Right.
for delivering a baby, for getting a surgery done.
Right.
But if you look at chronic diseases, for example,
Yeah.
you cannot be going to hospital every day because you're diabetic.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah. It's management.
Curing can happen at a hospital.
Yeah.
Healing has to happen at home.
Right.
Okay. Out of hospital spends are a larger portion than the hospital spend. And there's no organized player at that time for out of hospital care.
Out of hospital spends are larger than in hospital spends.
Yeah, in a hospital spend.
So you had that data.
Yeah, we have the data. I mean,
Right.
including medicine and
Got
others,
it.
okay, right? So that was the insight to be able to say that if I were able to create. Okay, right? Again, it's not easy. It's been a long journey.
Right.
And, so those are the kind of thoughts. A lot of times it gets also helped by the fact that technology changes, apps come in, mobile penetration changes. So all of this helps. For example, BigBasket is ridden on the wave that people are comfortable buying online.
Yep. Yes.
So as an entrepreneur, if you catch the wave, if you start there and be long enough there, you will find that the ecosystem also helps you.
Yep.
Okay. Like you've seen in EdTech, right? I mean, the fact that COVID has actually helped a lot of these businesses during COVID time to catapult it to a huge scale.
Right. Got it. Are you still looking for companies at growth story or not so actively?
No, we are not actively looking at the venture builder model at growth story.
Okay.
We do a lot of angel investment as a part of the family office. We are investor in LPs in multiple funds that we do. I just published a book on new age business model based on my teachings at IM Bangalore. So we're active in the startup ecosystem. We have a foundation which leverages, not-for-profit foundation that leverages our entrepreneurship skills to solve basic problems. It's called Bahar Foundation. So what we do is we try to create community healthcare entrepreneurs at remote tribal areas in India. So the idea being that at remote tribal areas, access to healthcare is very limited. Can I make the tribal woman a self-sustaining entrepreneur by giving her point of care devices, by teaching her, by training her, so that she is able to take care of healthcare requirements in the tribal community.
Got it.
So it gets two benefits. The local healthcare requirements get taken care of at one end, and at secondly, she becomes a earning entrepreneur in the family.
Very nice. You invest in companies, you've built companies in a way, you've sort of floated the idea, got the founding team together, and it's scaled to sort of no ends. How do you look at equity split? Not personally, but like, how do you advise somebody on equity split when it's going to be, whether it's going to be a car or a rocket? How should people look at equity split?
Yeah, this is a very interesting question that often comes up, and there is no one unique answer. One, obviously, it depends upon what is the business model you are following, right? And what kind of scale are you wanting? If it's a business which is like a professional services business, a lawyer business, or a services business, or a business that you're going to bootstrap with your own money, and it will, like a car, not a rocket, will go, doesn't require capital, then there is no need to dilute anything at all. Okay, right? Because you are master of your own destiny, you don't need risk capital, it will be self-sustaining, it can be bootstrapped business. Then why take money at all? Or the capital required is small enough that your family are able to do that stuff, and the risk is low.
Right.
Okay, right. On the other venture capital based business models, or the rocket business models, where there is amount of money is large, risk is higher, the uncertainty, then you should raise money from external investors, whether venture capitalists. There the question comes up, when to dilute, how much to dilute, whether to raise money early in the game or later in the game, because you will dilute lesser. Those are the questions that people often struggle with. And I have a view, which is my own view, which need not necessarily be the only view, is 100% of zero is zero. I would rather have 10% of $1 billion valued company.
Right.
Okay, right, than 100% of a small company. Okay, right. I mean, that's my view. One. Secondly, if you are following the large, scalable, rocket fuel type business model, which require venture capital, there the risk is very high. If you are in a business where risk is very high, you're starting a business, you're going to be spending your 7 to 10 years passion on a business which has got high risk. Then how do you reduce the risk? You try to have as many high value cards in your hand as possible. You reduce the risk,
Right,
by raising capital, by getting investors, by having a strong board, having people who have skin in the game,
right,
to be able to network, all of that stuff. And I have benefited in the past in my 4 ventures that I've exited. 2 of them had venture capital, 2 of them I bootstrapped without venture capital.
right,
But what has really helped me is, outside of capital and the dilution, the fact that I had VCs sitting on my board, having percentage equity in my company, helped me in leveraging their networks and succeeding. So in a low probability game, increase the chances of probability of success.
yeah.
Do as many things as possible. It may turn out that they may not add too much of value. You may end up thinking, oh my God, why did I dilute 40%?
Right.
Okay, may happen, but the reverse also may happen.
Yeah.
Okay, right?
Nothing.
Yeah, therefore I'm all for raising money, diluting equity as early as possible to increase the chances of success, than over optimizing for lower equity dilution or for higher stake for yourself. No founder, no company ever shut down because the founder had too less equity or founder diluted too much. It never shut down.
Right.
Company shuts down when the last 1,000 rupees is not there to pay salaries or expenses.
They run out of money.
they run out of money. Company shuts down because they run out of money.
Right.
How do you prevent run out of money? Raise money whenever you can, as early as you can. Dilute whatever is required. Give yourself a higher probability of success. Okay, that's what I firmly feel.
Got it. I want to also draw you back on the thing you said about you look at 10-year bets. You're not in the venture builder mode right now, I understand, but that sort of lens of looking at what's ready to be disrupted and is going to be a good 10-year opportunity. What do you see open right now?
Yeah, we do investments now as angel investor, as investors in companies. So we do look at business model. I think if you ask me, what is the exciting areas for investment?
What sectors, what opportunities, what plays are exciting you today as of 2025 and the world that we have around?
Yeah. See, so some of these sectors, which is again biased by my past experience, there are certain sectors I don't understand, so I'm not able to comment on it, like genomics and other stuff there. One very clearly is the entire generative AI leveraged business models. I think this generative AI, especially agentic AI, is a complete game changer.
When applied.
When applied. It is changing the workflow, it's changing organizational structures, how it is. I'm not talking about chat GPT type used to generate things, okay, right? But this agentic AI, I think is a major game changer in terms of how organizations, structures, jobs will get redefined.
Got it.
Right? So vertical generative AI, vertical agentic AI businesses is of huge attraction.
Do you have an example?
We still don't know about very specific, very specific ones. But take any vertical, okay, right? How agentic AI can be done to be able to reshape the sector, industry, and workflow. Take SaaS, for example.
Right.
SaaS has had a great run the last 10 to 20 years. Okay, right? Now that SaaS will get completely reimagined, redefined.
Right.
By agentic AI. Okay. Earlier, what used to happen, that we had people in organization using SaaS tools, okay, right, to be able to deliver certain outcome or perform certain roles and tasks. Today, autonomous AI agents can directly interact with the data or software and do without any need for a SaaS agent. So that's a great area. And you take each vertical can be disrupted or reimagined. So that's one example of this.
Why vertical? Why not horizontal? Why vertical? I mean, I understand, and I've been hearing this a lot, and I do have my understanding around why vertical AI will be greater than horizontal AI. But what do you think about why vertical, why not horizontal?
Horizontal AI will be big, but the fear or apprehension as a potential investor in horizontal AI is already spoken for, because it requires huge amount of training of data.
It's like building OpenAI again.
You already have big tech,
right?
Top players, with billions of dollars already working on it.
Right.
Okay. I may be wrong. I thought the same thing about e-commerce when Flipkart and Amazon came in. We said e-commerce is spoken for by them, but you saw how now today Meesho has come. Same thing I thought about Uber and Ola, now Rapido has come. So I've been wrong very often in the past. Okay, right? So I've been wrong. But right now, to bet on horizontal AI, foundational large language models, already there seem to be enough big tech players who are betting on it, who are doing that. Now trying to start with a new company is going to be difficult. Two, as an investor, why do I need to do that fight?
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong or right, but lower hanging fruit is that, can I generate for hospital administration?
Yes.
Okay.
Already a big market.
Yeah.
Already data proven
market, and requires thing. Large players are not going to get into it. Okay, right?
Yeah.
And to some extent, this follows the same way the SaaS played out. What did SaaS start with? horizontal SaaS,
Mhm.
okay, Freshdesk, Zoho, all of those. Then Zendesk. Then came vertical SaaS,
Right.
okay, Zenotis of the world.
Yes.
Then came developer tools, okay, right, like Postman, browser stack. So that is a natural evolution. I see that same thing. So that's one. The second area which is huge, I think, in my opinion, is deep tech or frontier tech.
Okay.
Okay, right? How can we
But India has
use?
never been a big player in that.
Yeah, but India has not been a player in that.
Hmm.
But again, because of
And it's also an India to
democratization,
US play. It can't be an India to India play. Or can it?
no,
Yeah.
no, it can no. It has got to be a global play.
Hmm.
Okay, right? But again, given the strengths of India, given lot of government focus on deep tech, innovation hubs being set up, and the fact that it is democratized. I mean, just like in generative AI in India, in Bangalore, for example, we have a lot of startups working on it, and there is no difference between here or in the Silicon Valley. In deep tech too, you can do that. The costs are lower. I think the people are accessible in terms of talent pool available. Some government initiatives are there, and with capital coming in through venture capital and others, we stand a good chance. But you're right; it has got to be global focused
On
to
day
be
one.
able to solve that. I see healthcare challenges both for India and global healthcare challenges. Okay, use of IoT, use of precision medicine, use of generative AI, and IoT and devices to be able to solve for the world is huge. Okay, right? So, things like deep tech again focused on healthcare or clean mobility. Take, for example, electric vehicles is now becoming standard. What about battery charging? What about battery technology? Okay. What about what if you can charge batteries not in overnight, not in hours, but in minutes because of better technology, better battery management system. So all of this using generative AI or deep tech are potential. So I would say the entire clean energy and mobility sector with a deep tech angle to improve on it would be large. So these are some of the couple of areas where I think a lot of interest is there.
Ganesh, my problem with AI, deep tech, and healthcare, these are the most impactful sectors. They were the most impactful when I graduated 10 years ago as well. And, everyone wants to build in them. But even with your journey, you've seen that, in India, the consumption play is so strong that the biggest companies end up being a Zepto or a Big Basket or a Bluestone or a Fresh Menu or yeah, I mean, home interiors also, if I can call one. India, what's happening? Why are these sectors not taking off? Because you're not telling this to me for the first time. I also heard this 10 years ago. Do we not get enough funding? Why don't we have more of Zohos or Wingifys or a Freshwork or Postman, which is also, how do I say, they're too few and they're also not very impactful. When will the deep techs of India take off? What is the problem?
No, I think what you're saying is true.
Yeah.
There is a problem. Only thing as a optimist
What
and
is
a
the problem?
bullish. No, is the entire ecosystem. See, we have to have funding for it. It requires large patient capital.
Yeah.
It cannot be done. China has done it because government has supported it fully.
Right.
Okay. Even in US, DARPA and other agencies, internet and all benefited from support.
So you
Whether
think it has
it's
to come from
NASA.
the government?
Yeah, so there has got to be a government is one player, okay, right? Long term, patient, money, R&D, grants for this is important.
From
Is
who?
one. From government and
Okay.
agencies, okay, right? It's
Got it.
one. Government support is a must if you have to crack this completely. We have to do it on multiple fronts, okay, right? Centers of excellence to be able to bring in top talent in the world. That's not just government plus private sector partnership, philanthropic capital. If you see, for example, Sudha Gopalakrishnan, Chris Gopalakrishnan Center at IIT
Axelor.
Madras. IIT Madras, yeah, the people who
Yeah.
founded Axelar, but this is a full not-for-profit. Axelar Ventures is not.
They funded it.
Okay, right? Yeah, they have a foundation. That foundation is set up at IIT Madras Center for Brain Research. Similarly, in IISc, Bangalore. This is 10-year commitment of philanthropic capital along with academia, along with research, which is able to do path-breaking cutting-edge research on neurodegenerative diseases. Okay,
Got
right?
it.
What they have been able to do is get world's best experts to come and work in IIT Madras at this center. Okay, it has to start like that. Will we get breakthrough from this? Yes. Will it take time? It will say it's at least a 10-year time frame. Okay, right? So you will need, it will need patient capital, it will need government support, it will need talent worldwide to be attracted. Okay, right? Indians coming back, but earlier they could not do because funding was not there and certain critical mass was not there. I would not be very desperate because this requires a critical mass to be built. Why do Indian deep tech scientists or scientists doing deep research, why do they go abroad? Not because they don't like India.
It's the ecosystem.
Because in the center here you will not get there. If you go, you will be able to work with a Nobel laureate. You will be able to work with somebody who is doing cutting edge research. It is the center. So you go to Stanford or an MIT. If you are able to recreate that here, hopefully the center at IIT Madras and Indian Institute of Science will be able to do it. We will be able to create that. It will take time, but it will become a body of knowledge. From there you can spin off into industry, you can spin off into startups.
So patient capital can come from government, it can come from philanthropic capital. That's it. Venture capital cannot be patient capital.
No, venture capital typically because they have a 7-year plus 7 plus 1 plus 1
Return window.
return window and all that cannot be cannot be in this. Yes, early stage breakthrough, high risk can come from venture capital, but it's only limited. Venture capital amount is also limited, and this requires patient capital, large capital for breakthrough. So it has to come out of this. But more importantly, the initial stages we require a confluence of multiple factors coming in.
For example,
Right? For example, the collaboration between academia, research, philanthropic capital, okay, right, and government grants to be able to do it. Enabling ecosystem so that we are able to attract students, brilliant students, to do research in these topics. Okay, right? All of that is needed. Venture capital is only one part of it, can sustain to some extent, cannot answer for your patient capital because they will need return. But we require all of this come together. Fortunately, I think it's happening in India. You see the deep tech policy announced, startup policy announced by the government. That is good. Innovation hubs announced by the government is good. Okay, right? So clusters are being set up. I think we are doing several things, but back to your question, it is a 10-year journey. I don't see immediately you will be able to solve for it, but that's okay.
so is it safe to say that deep tech is not a quick bet? And because it's not a quick bet, it's not getting venture capital. Whereas in China and US, the government has invested in it. Deep tech needs patient capital, and that cannot come from venture capital. And in India, the entire growth story is just backed by venture capital. Hence, we're not seeing deep tech sort of pick up.
No, not really. Deep tech is relatively new.
Okay.
Okay. Venture capital, even albeit small, is coming into deep tech now.
Okay.
So if you look
In
at
India.
in India, there is a lot of bullishness and focus. What is correct to say is it has not played out. The full cycle has not played out as it has played out in case of, say, a Flipkart or a BigBasket or others.
Consumer
okay, right?
goods,
Yeah.
yeah.
As consumer stuff, that is a safer bet perhaps. But there are deep tech focused funds globally and in India which are bullish on this sector. Okay, right? They are
For
saying
example, who are they?
they are saying that we will get. I mean, A16Z, if you take for example.
They're investing in Indian deep tech.
Yeah, so our Y Combinator, they're putting in early stage.
Okay.
Amount is small. So I think the bullishness, the attractiveness, the ecosystem support, all of it is there now. Early stage, it has to play out. Whether it plays out seriously, whether it moves the needle, all that we have to see. But I am bullish about it.
Got it. Last, you said government has to sort of enable this, and the government had a big role to play in DARPA, in China's sort of upbringing. How's it like working with government, and how serious a player is government, and how easy a player is a government if I'm building something in deep tech or any place where I have to deal with government tomorrow? Have you had any experience with dealing with
Yeah,
government?
no. So the government has got a very important role to play. Okay, right? Unfortunately, dealing with government is a nightmare.
Still is?
Okay, it still is a nightmare.
Okay.
I mean, most of my ventures have not dealt with government because of all the challenges
Right.
that is but still it's got an important role to play. Things are changing a bit. When I speak to entrepreneurs, I do hear positive news. Okay. Deep tech, especially government, is important. Government can play multiple roles. One, for example, take drone tech or space tech. Government as a buyer can be huge. Okay. We want Atmanirbhar. We want reliance on India. We don't want to buy from outside. You have seen the latest war, whether it is Operation Sindoor or actually what is happening in Israel. Israel and Iran and Israel and Palestine. Drone technology, same thing in Russia, Ukraine, is big. So technological warfare, technology as the forefront of warfare has become critical.
Right.
Therefore, if it and deep tech is at the center of it.
Right.
So why would government not embrace, encourage, like the way Israel government has done, which China government has done, entire deep tech startups in this particular sector. Similarly, space tech. So government as a buyer can be huge game changer for deep tech startups. So that is one role they need to play. Two is government as a regulator. Some of it is regulated, whether it's a drone technology or can they create experiments or sandbox kind of models,
Right.
where startups can come within defined regulations, experiment to see what is working, what is not working. That is something which is very possible and important. Third, we talked about grants, patient capital to experiment and to create. They may fund 100 projects, only 2 or 3 of them may work.
Right.
But you fund 100 projects
Yep.
at research institutes, academic institutes, encourage people to fail 98 times so that 2 of them can be cutting edge technology. Okay, right?
Got
and
it.
make procurement process easy for startups to actually bid. Why should only large companies, global companies participate in tenders? Okay, right? I think all of them can be extremely useful, especially in light with Make in India, Atmanirbhar, security issues where you want it to be done in India. Okay, right? That will make a big difference for Indian deep tech startup ecosystem and entrepreneurs.
Okay. Lovely. This was great. Thanks, Ganesh, for being patient through all these curiosities. This was great. Lovely.
Thank you. Thank you very much.